So you were looking to buy a heavy moisturizer, but you're stuck between the CeraVe Moisturizing Cream and the Cetaphil Moisturizing Cream and you don't know which one to pick? Well sis, look no further, because in this video I will actually tell you which one you should buy according to your skin type, according to what you're looking in a moisturizer, and also what you need in a moisturizer. So if you're interested, then keep on watching. Guys, honestly, when I was looking to buy these two, I was exactly in your same position, because it was like, okay, but these look kind of fairly similar. Like, they have the same consistency. They more or less promise the same things to my skin, so which one should I go for? Well, actually, guys, after having tried both of them extensively and after having reviewed both of them individually, I feel fairly sure to say that I could be considered a heavy cream Cetaphil / CeraVe moisturizer connoisseur at this point. So let me start actually comparing these two with the consistency. I'll actually show you side by side. So this is the consistency of the CeraVe moisturizer. As you can see, it is quite thick. Let me take a little bit out. It is a little bit gooey. However, if we take a look at the Cetaphil moisturizing cream, this is just a lot more thicker. I don't know if you can tell, but just take a look, even just by looking at them. I'm also gonna blend them out right now on my face on camera for you guys. So this is the CeraVe. As you can see, it is quite heavy and thick. If we compare it to the Cetaphil, look at this. Do you see how it's just a lot more stiffer and thicker? Like, you can already literally see how this just blended out more sheerly and this blended out to a lot more thicker consistency. Now, I wiped them off just because I didn't want to be on camera in a compromising situation with white stuff on my face. We never know what can happen on the internet. Okay. As you can see, literally, this was just a little bit more just lighter and sheerer. This honestly reminds me of a thicker version of the lotion version of this moisturizer. And literally, it is the exact same smell, exact same consistency, almost exactly the same ingredient list as the lotion, just in a thicker version. So really, if you are looking, first of all, for a moisturizer that is really going to give you so much hydration, nourishment, actually to the point of maybe it being really heavy, then I would definitely go ahead with this Cetaphil. If you instead are looking more for something that is a little bit sheerer but still give you that punch, then definitely go with the CeraVe. Meaning, I would say if you have maybe some skin issues, like for example, itchy skin, cirrhosis, or eczema, where you really have a dry skin, then my advice will literally be you should go for the Cetaphil Moisturizing Cream. If instead you just have normal dry skin, as in, yeah, you have dry flaky skin, but it's not to the point of having skin issues like eczema, then I would say this is definitely far off better for you, because this might actually be a little bit too much. So now, guys, after having compared the consistency, I want to move on to the formula, because as you guys know, literally for me, I'm obsessed with formulas and ingredient lists. I basically am like a scientist up in here.
Every day somebody thinks I'm Beyonce.
You don't look like Beyonce. I'm sorry. I don't know who told you that to try to get in your panties, but it's not true.
But I literally dissect the ingredient list of my skincare products, because that is truly where we can see the essence of what it's giving the girls. So really, if we just compare the ingredient list of both of these moisturizers, they're just very similar to me. Like, basically they just copied each other's homework together and they just came up with a different version of the same essay. If they were to submit their essays like this, they would honestly be flagged for plagiarism. But anyways, if we compare them, I can see a lot of glycerin. So for example, there's glycerin as a second ingredient in this, and there's also glycerin as the second ingredient in this, and also a lot of other glycerin based ingredients, like for example glycerol stearate, which is contained again in both. Glycerin and glycerin based ingredients are just really moisturizing and hydrating for the skin. So I mean, it is really beneficial to have both of them. Another thing that these two have in common is actually that they contain a lot of dimethicones. This one contains dimethicones and this one contains a mix of dimethicones and petrolatoms, hence why this is heavier. However, basically they essentially do the same exact thing, which is actually create a barrier, a film on your skin, so to prevent transepidermal water loss, which is just like a fancy word meaning that it will prevent any moisture from evaporating from your skin and therefore losing moisture and losing hydration. So it's really kind of beneficial to have ingredients like dimethicones and petrolatoms in your moisturizers, especially if they are targeted for dry to very dry skin like both of these are. However, once again, this contains just so much more of that. So maybe my advice would be, if you have dry skin, yet you maybe are struggling with a little bit of acne, you might be in your teen years where our body is just freaking out, it's don't know what it's doing. Honestly, been there, done that. I'm sorry, bless your heart, honey. But anyways, so I would say if you're going through a little bit of a breakout and you do tend to see that some moisturizers do break you out, then I would definitely go with this one, because CeraVe actually says that this is non-comedogenic, and I have to say, me speaking as an oily skin person, child of God, it did not break me out at all. Even though, mind you, again, I have oily skin. So really, if my skin can handle this, I mean, just in little small portions, I cannot handle a lot. It's just like sitcoms and rom-coms. I can only handle so much at once. Same with this. But basically, this still worked for me and it gave me so much moisture and hydration. But this one right here, in my experience, I did not like it because it did break me out heavily. Just because, again, it is thicker, it is more moisturizing, it does contain more of those dimethicone and pearlatum, which sometimes are shown to be pore clogging, and especially for girls who are acne prone and they're going through breakouts, this is just a no-no. Now, a few other ingredients that they have in common is actually cetyl alcohol, which is actually a very hydrating and moisturizing alcohol that it is in skincare, and also both of these are actually fragrance free. I have to say, fragrance is really bad for your skin because it is sensitizing and irritating, especially if you have dry skin. Your skin could be a lot more sensitive to fragrance. But so when it comes to the natural smells of these two moisturizers, I'm gonna open this up, take a sniff. Girl, there you go. What are you sniffing? What are you feeling? Tell me.
Damn, you smell good. What's that you got on?
Pussy.
I don't know, it reminds me kind of like a medicine, but in a good way. Like, it kind of smells as if it were a medicine for your skin, if that makes any sense. About this is just a no-no. I'm sorry. Are you sitting down, sis? Because once I open this, it's like a Pandora box. You cannot close this. Can you sniff this? This is just so chemically of a smell. It is just truly bad. Trust me, I have smelled disgusting things in my life. I'm not gonna get into what. You have imagination. You can go ahead and think what it is. It probably is what you're thinking. This compares to whatever you're thinking. I can already tell. I'm gonna tell you that for free. And now, guys, moving on to my experience with these moisturizers, I kind of already have mentioned it very briefly. I will say with this, truly, this is my go-to when I have dry skin or in the winter. I wouldn't use this in the morning though, like during the day. Even though you have dry skin, stay away from this during the day. You're just gonna look crazy. This is just too much. It would either make you look like you did a line of coke and you have your whole entire face white, or you did something a little bit more compromising with your boyfriend. In the night, however, this is a totally different girl. You know, like during the day, some girls can be shy, but at night they, boom, turn into a completely different person as soon as they start drinking vodka. This is her. When the sun sets, she turns into an amazing moisturizer. My skin would feel tight and flaky, like literally I would have pieces of my skin just flaking out, okay? And literally after 2-3 days of using this every night for 3 days, honestly, the flakiness was gone. Gonisha, I don't know what flakiness is. We have not kept in contact for years. I have lost her phone number thanks to her. But now if we move on to this, you guys, I have to say I didn't have a really pleasant experience with this, once again, just because it did break me out. However, I have experienced a little bit of a chemical burn, shall we call it that. And I have tried using this on my skin, and this was just amazing. My chemical burns were gone after 4 days. Chemical burns, especially the ones that I had, which were given from a hair removal cream. I know they're so painful. Oh, my ladies, if you know, please say amen and preach to my skin. This was here for me in those difficult times. So if you are looking for a loyal friend, go for her. If you are looking for a friend who is shy in the morning, but she's gonna turn up and show off at night, go for her. What are these metaphors, you guys? I'm so sorry. What is happening? How does my brain even function like this? Like, what? I literally link things and objects to people. Like, I be here pretending to talk to objects. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, when I'm alone by myself, I literally talk to things like moisturizers and creams. And like, you gotta be good to me tonight, sis. Cause look at this skin. Look at this. You ain't gonna have to play with me tonight. This is me doing my skincare routine at night by myself. I'm crazy. I scare myself sometimes. Am I high? No, that's what's worrying me the most. Next, I'm gonna move on to which one you should buy according to your skin type. I've already kind of briefly mentioned it, but I do want to give a little bit more into depth because I know that it can be confusing sometimes. So first of all, I have to say, once again, if you have dry skin, normal dry skin, and normal flaky skin, go with this one. And if you have really dry skin with like skin issues, like for example, eczema, psoriasis, go with this. Glad that we came to that. Now let's move on to a little bit more juicy see skin type. So for example, if you have normal skin, I will say first and foremost, discard this. You have never met her. You do not know who she is. If you see her in the street, you will ignore her. So you might actually want to go with this one instead. If you have normal skin, more lenient to dry skin, I would say definitely less is more with this. I will actually say if you have dry skin, what you should do is actually use this as a moisturizer topper. If you're not new to my channel, you actually know what this means. And that is basically you can mix more than one moisturizer and apply them both on your face at once. Circling back, if you have normal skin instead, I would once again suggest you use the moisturizing topper technique. And so I would say apply a lighter moisturizer, a lot more of that light moisturizer, and then just go in a little bit with this on top to really seal all that moisture onto your skin and actually prevent the transepidermal water loss. And now moving on to my normal to oily skin peeps. My oily skin people, everybody in the house who has oily skin say, ah! I see you. Honey.
I say now we really drinking strawberries.
Definitely pay attention because this might break you out. It might have not did for me, but skincare is really personal. So really, if you are acne prone and you do maybe get a little bit of breakouts, do pay attention. Do bring this on a date first. Try her out. See how you're vibing together. If there is that spark, that chemistry. But if after that first date, everything is well and you see that she doesn't break you out, then what you should do actually is, again, apply a lot of your very lightweight moisturizer that works amazing for your oily skin. Then you want to maybe apply this on top, but only when you are feeling your skin to be very dry. So really, as you can see, the star of the video really truly is this for me. I mean, she cute. I'm caressing her because she pretty. She done me good.
Okay.
Yes, you can also use this as a moisturizer topper. So for anyone who does have eczema, once again, I don't recommend you necessarily just lather this all over your skin. When I'm looking at the ingredient list, I will say this is more moisturizing in itself just because it contains more moisturizing ingredients, which are not the dimethicones and the petrolatum, because literally all those ingredients do is provide that film layer to lock in the moisture, but they don't actually serve and supply the moisture themselves. So really, once again, I recommend you definitely use this as a moisturizer topper. However, you would have to go in ahead and use a maybe thicker moisturizer. Maybe you could also get away with using this first and then a little bit of this on top. We might be looking at a great combo, honestly. But really, as you can see, once you start to understand skincare and what your skin really needs, you can really work around using this or also this in your routine. Honestly, you can make work everything. If you were to ask me, well, Mateo, I just want your opinion, which one would be best for you, you know? After having tried both extensively, if I have to be on with you guys right now, this is definitely the winner for me. I haven't thrown her out. She is still good. She is still amazing. For your hands, because girl, your hands are one of the first things to actually show signs of aging. This is amazing for that. Also maybe the nakisha, the chesticle areas. But the face, if you just want to give a face and something that says face to you, this is going to be it. And now guys, ultimately the ultimate test in comparison is the price-isha. And if we have to compare them, honestly, they're kind of exactly the same in price as well. This one is actually $15.19 for 340 grams or 12 fluid ounces for my folks out there in America. And honestly, I would say through my experience, they could literally last you more than 3 months if you apply it nightly. This is going to be instead $14.99, basically the exact same price, and this actually is 450 grams, so you know it's a bit more. How much is it in fluid ounces? It's not saying. Doesn't say. All right, well, I could find it. It doesn't say. So baby, you Americans are just simply not fit for this. You are not gonna buy this if you're American and you only use fluid ounces. Definitely feel like through experience you could get away with using this for 5 months. But anyways, if it maybe have convinced you of buying either of these two, then girl, for executive purposes and making your life easier, I'm actually going to link down below in the pinned comment the cheapest pro listing that I could find, both on Amazon US and Amazon UK, for both this cream, the CeraVe one and the Cetaphil one. So literally all you gotta do if you want to buy it is click the link down below. So you guys, honestly, if you want to learn more about what your skin wants, needs, didn't know it needed, and you don't want to be on your own in this journey, honestly, join us. Join me and my random family. We are all here in the same boat, sis, trying to figure out this difficult thing that is skincare together as sisters holding hands. Why am I making it so like peace and love? This ain't the 70s. We would love to have you in the random family. Therefore, join them by subscribing and turn the bell icon so you don't miss any uploads. And also, by the way, quickly on the side, if you also want to see a little bit more behind the scene, then why don't you go ahead and follow me on my Instagram as well, because we keep it real there too. If you like what you see in this video, you are definitely gonna like what you see on my Instagram, because I bump up the craziness even more there. Absolutely, ma'am. Yes, indeed. Also, if you want to DM me if you have any skin issues that you want to help one-on-one, then I would love to help you out.
Oh my god, then I literally cannot, because they're literally together right now, like they're literally
But anyways, to my randoms who are still watching and you watch all the way to the here, first of all, I want to say thank you. Mwah, you're my ride or die. But also, you know what time of the video it is now. It's time for the Italian word of the video. And since this video was all about comparing these two, I would say very good moisturizing creams, the Italian word of the video is actually going to be spesso, which is thick in English. Here's where it gets a little bit complicated, because spesso can also mean frequently and frequent in English, but also in English, especially in my culture, the gay culture, or also when we're describing some girls, we tend to say thick for their butts, their derrieres. In Italian, we wouldn't use spesso for that word. There's honestly no such saying, but I don't feel like you would need it in Italy, because honestly, when do you even go around on the streets saying, girl, your ass is thick? Unless you're a straight guy, an old straight guy that likes to catcall girls on the street, you wouldn't do that. Like, look at me also preaching in this video. What is happening? But anyways, to put spesso into context, as I always do in an Italian setting, if you ever found yourself maybe at a train station and you want to say how frequently do trains come by, for example, for any city like Florence, then you would ask, quanto spesso passano I treni? How often are trains per Firenze to Florence? So honestly, if you find yourself in Italy and you have to specifically go to Florence, then you know what to say. You are so welcome. As you can see, as always, helping you in life, in skincare, traveling around the world, specifically in Italy. What more do you want and need in life? This channel, me, is all you need on YouTube, sis. Speaking of YouTube and things that you don't need, do you see this video recommended here on the column? You do not want to watch those after this video. What you want to watch after this video is these two videos that I put for you right here, because they're just going to be as informative, just as funny, just as entertaining. But oh, remember to be random and always be random. Life is truly better as randoms. Watch though. Why are you here still listening to me say, ooh, gotta go, 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 go? Watch.